Hi grade 1 artists, nice to see you again. This week you've got me, Mr. Feature, and I'm going to be teaching you a little bit more about Henri Matisse. In this lesson you're going to be learning to make a print similar to the style of Henri Matisse. Now you know that Henri Matisse was an amazing painter and he made amazing artworks by cutting geometric and organic shapes with scissors. But did you know that he also was an amazing printmaker? And during his lifetime, he made 800 prints. 800!
800!
He did lots of different types of prints, and some of these have really unusual names. Names like intaglios, woodcuts, lithographs, linoleum cuts, and monotypes. Now, linoleum is a product that's mostly used for flooring. Some artists, like Matisse, used it by making cuts into it, then rolling ink over it and pressing it onto paper. The ink printed onto the paper, but where the cuts were made, it didn't print because the ink didn't get into the deep cuts. Henri Matisse made linoleum cuts of all sorts of things: portraits, figures, plants, and animals. And these are the types of prints we're going to make today. To make your print, you're going to need a few items from your art pack. You'll be using your markers, your styrofoam card, and your sketchbook, but there are some other materials you'll need as well. You will also need a tray filled with water, but this could also be a bowl or a plate. You will also need a sponge and a pencil, but I would recommend a pencil that isn't sharp. Instead of linoleum, we're going to use styrofoam, and we're going to use ink from our markers. Take your styrofoam card. You have two, but you just need one. Let's try drawing something that Matisse would have liked to draw. A portrait, a figure, an animal, or a plant. I'm going to draw a portrait because I really like how Matisse uses simple lines to make really interesting faces. They don't look real, but they do look like faces, and he uses really interesting shapes and patterns. Draw your design with one of your coloured markers. Remember, you don't have to copy me. You can do a portrait, a figure, an animal, or a plant. Once you've finished your drawing, take your not too sharp pencil and go over each marker line and push. You're going to make a dent along each line. You can always push a little harder a second time, so be careful not to push too hard the first time. You don't want to go too hard and push through the styrofoam. When that's finished, you're ready to go over your entire print with your coloured marker. You can use both markers, and if you have more markers at home, you can use those as well, but of course you don't have to. I'm choosing to do mine all in blue because I like the way it looks when it's just one colour. Notice how I'm trying to keep my fingers off the ink? Look what happens if I put my finger on the ink. Ugh, yeah, we don't want that. Turn to the next free page in your sketchbook, and then turn to the one after that. Yes, your next free page. I know that's a bit of a no-no, but I'm telling you today that that's okay. I know that for your last artwork with Miss Kit, you cut out beautiful figures and you don't want to have these damaged. So turn to the next page. Take your tray, plate or bowl and put a little bit of water in it. Take your sponge, wet it, and then squeeze the water out. You only want it a little bit damp. Very lightly wipe your sketchbook paper down and then across with your damp cloth. Make sure your cloth has a very small amount of water on it. You don't want soggy paper and you definitely don't want puddles. Now place your styrofoam card face down in the middle of your page. Take your previous page and fold it over as well. This is why you needed that free page. Press all the way to the edges and make sure each part of your print has been rubbed. Then lift up your page again, take out your styrofoam card, and what's left is a beautiful print. If it didn't work the first time, because maybe the page was too wet, or too dry, or you needed to use more marker ink, then try it again. That's the great thing about printmaking. You can make more than one. Remember to return your sponge to the kitchen. Sharpen your pencil, clean the tray, plate or bowl, and you can keep or throw away your styrofoam card. Well done grade 1. Miss Kit and I are really excited to see your Honoré Matisse Prints when you bring your sketchbooks back to school, which I heard is really soon. Bye for now.